legs up the wall. This is a position of rest that we can take with or without a pillow or a folded blanket underneath of our hips to tilt our pelvis, which will change the angle of our low back. And you can just rest in this position without moving, or you can include some different leg movements here. To get into the position, you're going to start sitting beside the wall, knees bent. And if you want your heels to be quite stacked over your hips are going to need to be closer to the wall. If you don't want to be that straight, then your hips can be a little bit a ways from the wall. So sitting here, knees bent, I'm going to lay down on my side. And this is when you're going to choose how close your hips are going to be to the wall. Because then from side lying, I'm just going to rotate my body up towards the ceiling, and now I can place my legs up and on the wall. So get comfortable here. Again, you could maybe have a blanket or a pillow underneath of your hips, and we're just going to start with legs up the wall. So a nice comfortable position here just to rest. We can also pedal our feet. So one foot's toes are pointed and the other foot is bringing the ankle and the toes towards our face. So pointing and then switching. The opposite foot is now pointing. I'm pulling my toes towards my nose. And we don't have to do this fast. As you can see, this takes a little bit of coordination. We could just point one foot at a time and then pull the toes to the nose. We could do them both. But I do enjoy just adding a little bit of some play here. But if that feels like too much, then again, just go ahead and do both feet at the same time. And as you get moving, you might shift your pelvis around, you might adjust your shoulders, put your arms over your head or underneath of your head, wherever you'd like your arms to be. And then let's go into some hip rotations. So moving from both hips at the same time, rotate those feet and hips outwards so your pinky toes are getting closer to the wall. And then rotate your feet in so that your big toes are trying to touch not only each other, but the wall. So going into hip outward rotation as well as hip inward rotation. And for many of us, a one hip is maybe going to have more or less inward or outward rotation. And you can also then bring that awareness again to your pelvis and the pressure of your feet on the wall and how you feel your hips and that musculature when you are attempting that turn out or in. So lots to be discovered here, but also we don't have to get into that much detail because maybe we are just coming here to rest and get a little bit of some different movement. We don't have to judge that movement that's happening. After rotations, we can get into a wide leg position. So take those heels apart and just start conservative. So get into a wide leg stretch that feels like about a 2 or a 3 out of 10 so that you can just sit here, breathe. Maybe the elbows are bent with the hands on the outside of the thighs. That can be helping to support the legs. And the knees don't have to be perfectly straight. We could add a bit of a knee bend, and that might change the stretch subtly. So we might prefer a straight knee. You can play with that too. And taking time and space in each position as we move and rest to bring awareness to our breath. So go back to any and all of those positions and take more time if you need, but those are the basics of legs up the wall. To get out, bend your knees, let your knees fall to the side, and then you'll come up through that side lying position. You just reverse how you got in. I hope you enjoyed. Come to it anytime.